Our Region's Business is sponsored by PNC for the Achiever in You. Welcome to Our Region's Business with your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, she took a magic wand to QVC, and now she's back with a book on tips to help employees succeed in the workplace. Plus, an eyewear entrepreneur who saw an opportunity in the sunglass market and who's building a business to capture it. But first, Calgon Carbon deepens its roots in our region. The company's a global leader in the activated carbon business, having all but invented the industry, and now building a more visible presence here in its hometown, cutting the ribbon on the new headquarters in Moon Township. Randy Dearth is back with us today, Chairman, President, and CEO of Calgon Carbon. Welcome, good to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. It's a pleasure.
And congratulations, new digs out there near the airport.
Yeah, we're very pleased. We actually started our move back in January, and we just finished it a few weeks ago, but we've actually moved about 210 people into the state-of-the-art facility.
Well, a great company, been around for a couple of generations, but your headquarters has always been sort of tucked away on a back street out there just off of Route 60. Why did you decide it was finally time to move?
Well, I teased my team. I said I wanted a building where the sign Calgon Carbon could be seen from space, and we're pretty much there at this point in time. We're up on the hill by the FedEx building in Glaxo. But it's a nice move for us. It really helps us get to the next chapter of Calgon Carbon. You know, as you said, we've been around about 73 years, so it's a company with a long history here in Pittsburgh. And I'm very pleased to be able to move into a new space, LEED certified, state-of-the-art, high-tech laboratories, and I think our employees are happy as well.
Yeah, how many employees will be working out there?
We have about 210 employees at the headquarters, and that complements 3 other sites we have here in Pittsburgh. We have 2 on Neville Island, manufacturing sites, and we have 1 actually out by the airport.
Okay, and you mentioned the R&D, so there's laboratory space that's associated with the new building as well?
We've always had laboratory space for Calgon Carbon. In fact, we believe we're the leader in activated carbon in terms of R&D efforts, and we spend over $6 million a year. And we actually moved over about 22 chemists, PhD chemists, engineers, technicians into the new space. So, as I said, they have state-of-the-art laboratories in which to do their work.
And so what's new? And well, first we should probably think what exactly activated carbon is, and then what do you do to push the edge when it comes to innovation in activated carbon?
Well, activated carbon has been around for a long period of time, and I said we go back to 1942. We actually produce the pellets, which are the little black pellets made from coal that go into respirator masks. And so the U.S. government contracted with, which was then Pittsburgh Coke and Chemical, to produce these little pellets. If you've ever had a fish tank at home, those are activated carbon granules.
Okay.
Or if you've ever had a home water filter and your kids have torn it apart, you'll see that there's little black granules, and that's activated carbon. Thousands of uses. We primarily are used in the water space for making water cleaner and purer and remove smells and odors. We're also used in the airspace, in air filters. And most recently, we've been used as a product that will take out mercury from coal-fired power plants.
Really?
A mandate from the EPA, and activated carbon, again, a product that's been around for a long period of time, will actually solve that and take out about 90% of the mercury.
Yeah, I know a lot of controversy in some circles around the mercury regs, but so there is technology that can actually pull that out of the exhaust from coal-fired power plants.
Exactly. And the ironic thing is we're solving a coal problem with a coal solution. Because again, our product is based on coal, and you know, we're able to solve that. It's inert, so after it's done its job, it could be disposed of, or in a lot of cases, we actually take the carbon back to facilities around the world where we can regenerate the carbon, so it's a great sustainability story, and sell it back to the customer and they can reuse it.
Oh, I didn't realize that. It's recyclable, renewable at that sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, after you use it. You mentioned around the world, so we talked a little bit about your presence here at home. What's your reach outside the country, elsewhere?
Well, about 50% of our business is outside the U.S.
50%?
About 25% of that's Europe. And Europe has always been focused on sustainability and clean water and clean air, so they've always, I think, been one step ahead of us here in the U.S. But also we're big in Asia. And most recently, we set up operations in Brazil. I think there's a huge market that we could grow in Latin America and South America, so we're going to go after that. And we just announced to our shareholders recently an endeavor to get into India, which I also believe is an up-and-coming country where the middle class will be demanding clean air and clean water.
Well, and I guess the water issue globally, obviously, you know, it's critically important to the health of people everywhere.
Everywhere. I mean, you hear about the scarcity issues, not only here in our country, but around the world. The algae blooms that most recently on Lake Erie and Toledo and the issues they've had, but also things like chemical spills. I mean, there's unfortunately hundreds of chemical spills every year. And activated carbon has the ability to take out these chemicals before they get in the water supply. When you hear that that didn't work, it was for some reason either they weren't using activated carbon or the activated carbon should have been replaced. So we have a lot of purposes and a lot of good uses that our product could be used for.
So yeah, so you could think 70-year-old company, kind of a tired old commodity. It sounds like they're just at the beginning of the potential for this. Yeah?
Well, that's why R&D and innovation is so important to us, because we're constantly being challenged with new applications. So our chemists have the ability to go in and either reproduce customer conditions so they can come up with the right carbon to fit the need, or we ourselves go out and invent new products that can solve issues. The mercury removal I mentioned is a great example. We are the leader in terms of the technology for that, and we have the best chemists, I truly believe, in the industry.
We talk about chemists, we talk about PhDs. I assume somebody has to make this stuff. Always looking for good people to do this work?
Constantly. Our plants to produce these products in the virgin state, meaning the first time, are in Kentucky and in Mississippi. And we do have challenges in terms of workforce and identifying the right talent. But even here in Pittsburgh, that's one of the concerns that kind of keeps me up at night is, are we able in the next 5 to 10 years to find the right people to fill spots through retirements or people moving? And that's a challenge.
A lot of baby boomers leaving the workforce these days.
Unfortunately, a lot of talent, a lot of expertise leaving, and I think it's up to us, in our community to find ways to make sure that we bring in the next generation of talent, and also make sure that our kids are aware of what opportunities there are in the next 5, 10, 20 years.
There's a real beachhead in that area up in the Hill District in Pittsburgh, the Energy Innovation Center, which is under development there. You're on the board. We actually taped the television show up there not long ago. Do you think that sort of strategy is really important to the future, developing this work?
Oh, absolutely. And in that particular institution, the EIC Energy Innovation Center, is in a perfect location. The old Connolly Technical School. It's in a great neighborhood to be able to bring in talent and get them trained and get them jobs in the community, but also to be a think tank. They focus, as the name implies, a lot on energy, and to provide that forum and that facility by which people can come in and do development on energy, learn about energy, and be able to take it to the next level.
Wow, it's exciting to see that happening here in downtown Pittsburgh. Just as much to see what you're doing out there with the new headquarters and everything. Randy Dearth from Calgon Carbon, congratulations. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Bill. It's a pleasure.
And next up, a local startup that's seeing a way to build a business while doing good. Stay with us.